Welcome to CFS Fluid Forum. I'm here with Ann. Ann, can you please describe to us what company you're with and what you guys do?
Yes, my name is Iacubino. I work with American Wilbert Vault Corporation. While we do have Vault Corporation in our title, we do also distribute for Pierce Chemical in the Chicagoland area.
Okay. Well, what kind of challenges do you think that your company has been facing in today's market?
I think the biggest challenge right now is that um, funeral service in general for so long was a legacy business handed
Hmm.
down generation after generation. Therefore, patterns are handed down generation after
Okay.
generation. So sometimes people aren't willing to look beyond what they've already been practicing
Hmm.
for years and generations. So it's kind of hard to get people to open their minds, accept maybe some new ideas, new products into the mix of what they do.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest challenge when it comes down to passing the torch on to the newer generations of the industry?
I just think this is a very different world. Every generation has said that in the past, but I think especially this, past like 10, 15 years and where we're going beyond there,
Hmm.
it is so vastly different. Families are transient, they're no longer all consolidated in one area. Um, Religion has kind of taken a back seat for a lot of people. Um, Funeral professionals in general, where they used to be kind of a community of colleagues,
Hmm.
now have kind of turned into um, competition with each
Ah,
other.
okay, understood.
Because when you break up the community, it's no longer, oh, you pick up the phone and you call the man you know because he lives down the street
Yeah.
and he buried your grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Now you've moved to a new town, you're just picking up the phone and dialing for dollars. So just so many things have changed,
Yeah.
that we really have to start looking at what we do and how we do it
And then
differently.
inherently, that causes a bunch of other problems. This competition, as far as when we're talking about clients and their loved ones, it could cause a couple of more issues that way. That way, I assume, right?
Right, and I'm all about people, expressing themselves and doing things differently and making up their own traditions. But I think as funeral professionals, we have to do everything we can to keep a lot of like the core of what we
Of
do
course.
in place. So, give them some slack to make it their own, but try to remind people this process was created in a way for a very specific reason.
Hmm.
And if we can kind of keep to the bones of it and then,
Make
color
everybody
it as you
happy.
may, everybody can be happy.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Do you think how has the increased rate in cremations affected your business?
That is a significant difference
Mm.
just in, I mean, the timing of things. It used to be grandma passed away, maybe the beginning of the week. By the end of the week, you would have had, a visitation, a mass, and a
Yeah.
burial. Now people are putting services off, and with cremation even more so. I'm going to a service next weekend that the person died a month and a half ago. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
almost unheard of in this industry,
Right,
right?
but again, because families are so transient, it's not just like you're going down the street anymore. You've got people who want to fly in,
Of
be a
course.
part of it. The world is kind of unforgiving.
Hmm.
There's no such thing as bereavement time unless it's like your mom or your dad or your child.
Yes,
you
yes,
know.
of course.
So yeah, just again another way things have just changed so much. So really, the key with cremation is to again to remind people that just because it's cremation doesn't mean that we have to cut every other corner.
Yeah, yeah.
And celebration of life is great, but we also need to take the reverence and the pause to accept what's happened.
Yes, yes. As far as getting suitable talent for these jobs, has staffing been an issue for you?
Staffing, in regard to what I do, no, but we work with many funeral homes in the Chicagoland area, and that has changed quite a bit as
Yeah.
well, because there is a difference between what funeral homes, what their revenue was with burial services
Mm.
versus cremation. They have cut back on staffing.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny. I mean, cremation seems like it actually takes almost as much work as a burial. But people have definitely cut back on their staffing and start using trade
Yeah.
organizations to assist.
Okay.
Hmm.
Speaking of trade organizations, how has been your experience with Compassion Funeral Services?
Right. Again, while I don't work with them directly,
Hmm.
many of my funeral homes do, and really just about everything that I hear is very complimentary to the way they handle the services that they provide funeral homes.
Yeah.
And it is a very unforgiving profession. You're on the Lord's clock. You're on not on a 9 to 5. So for these funeral directors to be able to run their funeral homes, at least 5 days a week
Yeah.
during regular business hours, and then maybe have somebody help with the calls in the middle of the night, that allows them to find some more normalcy and balance in their life. So people
course.
seem to really appreciate it, and they approach things with a lot of professionalism from what I hear. So
Yes, of course. Is there anything that you would like to wrap up this interview with? Your own thoughts.
um nothing, like I said, let's let the world create what all the new traditions are, but let's hold on to the core of what we do in funeral service and look for the trifecta wins, family first, business second, and your vendors will follow.
Of course,
Okay?
of course. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Tune in for the next couple of interviews. We have a couple more left for you guys.